And it's my pleasure to be here today and see so many people out here who are passionate about what's going on. And I know many of you are frustrated and want to see change. And honestly, the Corps of Engineers, Jacksonville District, we want to be a part of that.
An algae crisis threatening our treasure coast.
A cycle of despair and disgust amidst promises made and broken.
Billions of gallons of water are rushing from Lake Okeechobee to our coastline.
How much pollution is too much? How much danger is too much? How much before this will stop?
In order to regulate Lake Okeechobee, the Corps of Engineers relies upon the east and the west coast to discharge billions, hundreds of billions of gallons of water to those coasts. But the Corps of Engineers doesn't consider the effects on those coasts. And this is the biggest, it's the pinnacle problem, in my opinion, about Lake Okeechobee management.
I think if you went around and asked people, what should be the highest priority in a big project, I think people's expectations are it should be health and human safety.
People look at the river and they think, well, they lived on the water no, we have people in mobile home parks all up and down this river. People who are losing their jobs are coming to food pantry. You see how crowded it is in there today.
We need to prioritize human health and safety. Number one, across the board, for people living south of the lake, for people living in the estuaries.
I don't know what it is. Is it that, it's just dogs, it's just sea life, it's just raccoons, it's not people? It's going to be people.
There's nothing that I can do once my body is poisoned. This is it. So it should be the #1 concern.
They're doing irreparable harm to other communities, and this is why that entire Lake Okeechobee management needs to be completely redone.
Hundreds turn out fighting for clean water. Treasure Coast residents, weary of toxic algae, hope to take advantage of a new opening to end an ongoing scourge.
We are listening, and we've heard a lot of the issues.
The auditorium at Indian River State College Stewart campus was packed Tuesday evening, so packed organizers had to open 2 overflow rooms.
More than 100 people stepped up with a message for the Army Corps of Engineers.
Please give us 0 discharges.
In 2018, we passed something known as the Water Resources and Development Act, and one of the amendments that I put into that very large bill was a demand that the Corps of Engineers redo the Lake Okeechobee regulation schedule. The Corps decided to rename that, and I think rightly so, to rebrand it, and they're renaming it the Lake Okeechobee System Operating Manual.
It's an operational plan, just like LORS is an operational plan. And so we're going to, this is the new plan that we're going to roll out. When we rolled out LORS 2008, we established that it was an interim schedule, that we needed to rehabilitate the dike, and that we would reevaluate conditions when the dike was done. So this is kind of following up on that promise. It's also been over 10 years. We have additional science, different priorities may be happening. We want to come back to the public and hear about it and gather all of that information together to come up with a plan that's updated.
So on February 19th, the Corps of Engineers held their LOSOM public scoping meeting in Stewart, and it was a moment that I couldn't have been more proud of the Treasure Coast community. The way that literally hundreds of Treasure Coast community residents came out and spoke respectfully about their concerns. The way they've been affected year after year after year, the way that different things are affecting the real estate community, or affecting the economy, or businesses, or their ability to go out there and have recreation, or most importantly, the health and the safety of people and family pets and parents and grandparents and sons and daughters, the way that cyanobacteria is affecting people's health.
This is the view from behind our office on the Okeechobee Waterway. We, in response to people getting sick and feeling like they really shouldn't be coming into work, I made the decision to close the office.
This stuff affects us so negatively, and we know what the negative effects are: Alzheimer's, neurodegenerative disease, liver failure, kidney disease. These are things I have to look forward the next 50 years of my life, am I going to come down with symptoms of these things from being exposed to it so much?
Our church was built in 1910 on the Indian River Lagoon. In 2013, I've been the first pastor in the history of this church not being able to baptize in this water.
Had the lake been kept at the lowest level of your operational ban prior to the major rain events last spring, my city would have been spared billions of gallons of polluted water being dumped upon us.
Because here's the thing, I can get a new job. It might be difficult, but I can go out and get a new career. What I can't get new is a new body. I have one body, and if this body gets poisoned, if this body gets sick, I'm out of luck. And the fact of the matter is my body is poisoned.
Research shows a cluster of non-alcoholic liver disease take place right here. Martin County, St. Lucie, Indian River, and Okeechobee counties. Research shows 100% of Stewart residents tested had microcystin in their nasal passageways.
I'd really like to encourage everyone to keep participating. That's really important throughout this process. We want to get it right, and the only way we can do that is from hearing from everybody. And we really want to facilitate everybody coming together in the community. So we've set up a special website on the Jacksonville Corps page. It's www.saj.usace.army.mil/LOSOM. And it has upcoming events, it has links to be able to send us comments, it has a calendar, information. I believe documents will be posted as they get turned out, and they can come there for all of the current information. So the end product is going to be a system operating manual that's the document that describes the philosophy and the operational plan for operating Lake Okeechobee.
But it's important that through this process, the Corps of Engineers has to acknowledge the truth. And in my opinion, in order to really have justice, you have to have truth there. And we want justice throughout this process because what's occurred so far has been an unjust process. The most important thing that I think that can come out of this, that didn't come out of 2008, is the coasts are going to be taken into consideration. The Caloosahatchee, the St. Lucie River, the Indian River Lagoon. When the Corps of Engineers talks about recreation, they need to think about our recreation on the coast, not just recreation on Lake Okeechobee. When they talk about human health and human safety, they need to take into consideration our health and our safety on the coast,